What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Classroom Yaps. Today, I'm going to jump into the two mechanical pencils that I purchased for myself in my classroom, which is the Uni Alpha Gel Switch mechanical pencil and the Uni-Ball Kura Toga Elite mechanical pencil. Before I jump into those, I want to ask you to consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. Doing so will help this channel a lot. I'm trying to build this up from the setting of my classroom to talk about things that I learned, do some reviews, and things that I'm coming to understand. So if you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing. Now, I've been using pens for primarily the last 10 years, maybe even through college. And I really hadn't journeyed into the world of mechanical pencils in a long time. I knew there was a lot of people that really enjoyed to use them still. I really hadn't used a mechanical pencil since I was in grade school, and we used to load it up like a musket. So the other day when I was on TikTok, the Alpha Gel from Uni-Ball popped up onto my feed, and I thought, you know what, let's try it out. I had recently purchased the Pilot Premium G2 pen, and it's a really premium pen. However, it is really heavy and really thick, right? In terms of what you would compare to just your regular everyday G2. When I was using the premium G2, I was finding that I was getting a little bit of a cramp in my hand. And even though it had a really nice grip on it, it just wasn't the most comfortable writing experience for a prolonged period of time. So ultimately, I ended up with the Sharpie ballpoint pen, and just using pens that came across my desk. Really not thinking too much about the premium aspects of, well, this pen costs $20, therefore it should be a better pen. So looking into pencils, again, the Alpha Gel, which I find to be just a really nice looking pencil, has a rotating device inside of it. I know this isn't going to be the sharpest picture, but that little orange piece there, as you write, you're going to notice that the pencil kind of sharpens itself and keeps itself at a premium point as you are writing, which to me sounded interesting. Again, having not used mechanical pencils for almost 15 to 20 years, this was something that enticed me. So I've been using it mostly to journal inside of my moleskin, as we like to, I don't know, as we should try to call it, but just using it to make my checklist throughout the day. And I'm finding it a pretty pleasurable experience to write with. Again, it's lightweight. I thought maybe it was going to be a little bit heavier, but it is very lightweight. And I think that's something that I personally need to, learn to appreciate a little bit more. Primarily because, again, when I bought that premium G2, I was thinking, heavier and more robust was going to be a better writing experience. And I was proven wrong in that sense. Now, in terms of materials, again, I think that I was expecting a little bit more premium. Most of this is plastic. And, it's not a plastic that's probably going to break anytime soon, but I just was expecting something a little bit better. However, this was $10, and for $5 more, we have the Kurutoga Elite mechanical pencil. And this feels a lot more premium. This feels like something that you would find on somebody's desk, and that part of your brain would light up and think, I really want to take this pencil right now, although I know society would kind of shun me doing that. This feels like one of those pencils. And then you kind of think about that pencil day in and day out, like thinking like, man, maybe I should buy myself a really nice mechanical pencil. This one did not pop up on my feed on TikTok. However, as I was shopping for the Alpha Gel pencil, this one did pop up. And again, for $14.99, it feels a lot more premium. There is a little bit more metal or aluminum, I guess it would be, right? And kind of balanced out with some of the plastic. I think it's just a really nice pencil. And I actually feel like this one is probably the one I'll end up using more, just because, again, it is that nice. It's also very lightweight, even with having more metal than the Alpha Gel pencil. One thing, again, that you will notice is that there is that rotating device in there. And I'm not a pencil influencer, so please, forgive me if I don't know the technical terms for this. I'm really just into pencils and pens for the experience of it. However, that rotating device does rotate the pencil lead as you write, and it does keep it as sharp as it could be, giving you the most pleasurable writing experience and making sure that your letters, your words, your lines are going to be the sharpest that they could be. This one has gotten not as much use because I was really looking forward to using the Alpha Gel, but I'm probably going to be using this one a lot more today, and I'll probably report back on that in tomorrow's video or the video later on this week. But those are the two that I purchased. Please let me know what you think. Yeah, today is a Wednesday, which we have a staff meeting, and those are good opportunities to use pencils like this. Opportunities to make my list in my daily planner. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far into my video, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. And again, I'm really, really pushing to build this channel up. So if there's something you see that I could do better, or if there's something that you want to leave a note on, please consider doing so. Thank you so much. Catch you in the next video. Peace.